Alright, hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy for Now. It's me, Isabel, and I wanted to come talk about one of my favorite services that I have, which is Audible Escape. It used to be called Audible Romance. I feel like as someone who reads over 200 books a year generally, this is a lifesaver because I do use my library a lot. Don't get me wrong, like I use my library and Hoopla more than any other thing I use to read all these books. But Audible Escape has come in so good for me when it comes to finding a book I wanted to listen to that I can't get at the library in time, or you know, just I want it now kind of situations. So I wanted to talk about a couple books I recommend in a few different categories that are currently on Audible Escape as of this posting. I will have a link down below to sign up for Audible Escape if you're interested, and I will link to all the Goodreads for the books I discuss, and I will pop them up, the covers on the screen as well. So yeah, let's get started. First category we have is historical. So I'm broadcasting historical over anything that is not of our current time or would be considered contemporary. So the first book I have is called Let It Shine by Alyssa Cole. I listened to this and loved it so much, but I am 100% an Alyssa Cole stan. Like, she can pretty much do no wrong for me. I always love her stuff. So I mean, you know, maybe this is the one that'll get you, I don't know. But this is set in 1961 during the Civil Rights Movement, which I felt was a really interesting setting, something we don't see a lot in romance, and a needed setting, to be honest. I would love to read more set during this time in romance, honestly. So this is about Sophie and Ivan, who meet and have sparks fly. They are an interracial couple, and obviously there's a lot of tension going on with what's going on in the world. This is a novella, so it's a very quick listen. Highly recommend, well narrated as always. Can't really go wrong with it. I mean, it's Alyssa Cole, guys. Like, she's the best. Next, we have a series that I think a lot of us know about and are excited about, is The Bridgertons by Julia Quinn. So The Duke and I is on Audible Romance, as are I think the rest of the whole series. So you can easily go listen to these, which is what I've been doing slowly but surely. I've been getting through them to get ready for the Netflix series when it comes. The only caveat I have is, like, book one has some rough stuff in it. I did not like book one. I would say read spoilers and skip book one. Hold on. So I suggest you read spoilers for book one and skip it and just continue on to book two, because honestly, book one was rough, and I'm shocked I've continued this series, honestly, because I really was not thrilled with book one. This cat is rubbing the camera stand while I film, so we're doing this now. Last but not least in historicals is a book I loved when I read it, which was The Duke I Tempted by Scarlett Peckham. This book and the next one are also on Audible Romance or Audible Escape. I was blown away by this book. I thought it was beautifully written. I loved the conflict. It's a heavy book though, so it may not be for you. Possibly, again, check out content warning, trigger warnings on this before you pick up anything. Honestly, anything on this list, you should probably go check that out. I did not gather those up this time like I do in most of my reviews. So the next category we have is contemporary, which I feel like I have the most books for, but I honestly really love listening to contemporaries. Especially like YA contemporary, and for some reason contemporaries just flow much better for me on audio than when I read them, whereas I tend to like to read historicals. I'm about to figure that out, but I don't know why. But yeah, so that's my take on that. First up, we have a series I recently finished, which was the Serena Bowen's Brooklyn Bruisers series. I really enjoyed these for the most part. I did have some issues with some of the books, but they were really fun listens overall. And it was nice to just be able to go on the app and get all these books and dive through the series and be done. I love finishing series. I love finishing things. So like to knock out a small series like that was de-frickin-lightful. Next we have a book. I've only read one of these, which is the Serenades, How to Date a Douchebag. I read The Studying Hours. This one was really cute. I had a blast listening to it. I think I listened to it around the holidays or like January, and it was just so fun. Hold on. So yeah, that was just super fun. Then we have another like author I feel can do no wrong, and I always love her. It's Talia Hibbert. All of her Ravenwoods books series are on here. I read the first one and I'm reading, no, I listened to the first one. I loved it. I can't remember if I've listened to other ones yet in this series, but they're so good. And they're all right there on Audible Escape. So I just feel like, I don't know, even if you only do a 1 month run of this, you could get through so many books. Then another favorite of mine by Mia Hopkins, the East Side Brewery series, which follows the Rosa brothers. First you have Eddie, and then you have Sal, and the Rosa brothers. That's all I need to say. They're so hot. They're so amazing. These relationships are so realistic, and it's a contemporary where they're not millionaires, they're not billionaires, they're not rich. They're kind of everyday dudes, and I really felt like I was in LA for these. I loved these books so much. Then we have some YA recs. So To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. That series is delightful. I adored it. I might re-listen to it soon before the next movie comes out, honestly. Oh, then I have a recent read of mine, Technically You Started It, by Lana Wood Johnson is on there. I really recommend this. This is friends to lovers, enemies to friends to lovers, but they don't realize that the one's the enemy, if that makes sense. And it's all told through text messages, so it is a very quick read and listen because it's, you know, text messages. I adored this book. It was so stinking cute. I read it for Contemporary-a-thon, so that was recent. There's a vlog down below with it, I'm sure, somewhere. And then there's also I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This is a great important book for the kids today, I feel like, and for people who are non-binary and exploring their gender identity. I highly recommend it. It was a really good listen. Very emotional. Let's see, I'm missing, there's like a ton of other awesome YA contemporaries on there. I think I listened to When Dimple Met Rishi through Audible Escape. You know, things like that. Like, I love just kind of browsing what's new and picking out the, like, just checking like if an author's new book that came out like 2 months ago that I want to listen to and has a 6-month wait at the library is available, and then there it is. Last but not least, we have paranormal, aliens, sci-fi. Oh my. So I just kind of bucketed all of this together because I kind of didn't have a ton for each category if I broke it out, but I felt like combined it was enough to talk about. So first we have, of course this is on here. It is also on Hoopla. There's a lot of places you can get these for free, and that is Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarians. So, I mean, I feel like this is like the weird romance of romance booktube that everybody reads, and I'm also guilty of it. I'm doing something with this series right now that you'll find out about soon. I am loving it. It's so wild. It's wild. That's the best way to put it. It's just wild. Yeah. Can't recommend it enough. There's like 20 books, and I think almost all of them are on Audible Escape, so you could just spend 2 weeks listening to those if you really want to. I think they're all like under 6 hours, so you really could. Then we also have the Mystic Bayou series by Molly Harper. These are really fun mystery romance. The first one is How to Date a Dragon, if I recall correctly. I'm actually on like the 3rd book, which is like Even Selkies Get the Blues, something like that. I really enjoyed these. They're very cute, very quick reads. An interesting like world town is being built in like Louisiana, and I just love the idea of Louisiana having this mystic bayou with like shifters that are dragons and selkies and fairies and you name it, it's there. I don't know, I just think it's such a blast. Then we have Kit Rocha's Beyond series. All of the books are on the Audible Escape package, which means like, why haven't I finished them yet? I know why, because I can't listen to them when I'm working because they're just like a little too spicy. These are a lot. They're very, very, very sexual in the best way. I love them, but yeah, I need to finish that series because they were so good. Highly recommend what I've read of them so far. And then last but not least, I also feel like another romance reader paranormal fave is Nalani Singh's Angel Blood. I was able to go listen to the first book of this series, and I noticed that a bunch more are available, so I'm excited to finish that first 3-book arc and then continue on my journey with Nalani Singh, because like my friends love her, so I have to also figure out if I love her. Yeah, those are my Audible Escape romance package, whatever the service is called, recommendations. I've got a link down below for you if you want to sign up. I also linked to all the books I talked about. Let me know what your recent or like favorite book on Audible Escape is, because I'm always looking for new things that have like been vetted by other people, because I mean, there's nothing worse than starting a subpar book, right? So I will talk to you soon, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.